I reached 7,200 points in Dr. T's Tropical Island, and this is how I got there. This stage 6 had 5,400% building health. I'm using all Zukas and Bullet. First cleared some of the mines and then dropping all of the troops. And all Zukas is a strategy that works really well against the Tropical Island. So a lot of the attacks are Zukas and Bullet. And I flared up here, and now I just have to use some smokes, trying to save as much GB as possible, and about now I can shock Bullet. And now the troops can walk to the back behind these machine guns. And luckily there was no critter launcher in range of Bullet, so I was able to flare the sniper tower, and then I could clear those defenses. Usually you would flare just on the core and rush it with a Bullet and the Zukas, but on this base I decided to clear all the defenses because there is no critter launcher in range. So yeah, critter launchers are really a big issue if you have Bullet and then the Zukas just keep attacking the critters instead of the core. So yeah, there on this base they were able to get the shock launchers now. And then just the sniper towers are remaining. And I do have enough GB to keep taunting for a little bit. Yeah, only one sniper tower is in range right now of my Zukas and is taking out a few. But not a huge issue. Now my Zukas can attack the core. And you just need to keep Bullet alive, so just keep activating taunt. And yeah, I'm gonna have enough for another taunt. And then I'm gonna have to use a shock or something like that. So there a taunt. And now Bullet still has half health, but as soon as the taunt runs out, Bullet's health is gonna decrease way quicker. So I shocked the machine guns because I think the machine guns would do the most damage to Bullet, simply because they attack the most. And their core is almost down, and yeah, Bullet got taken out just before the core went down, and yeah, now Zukas just had enough health just before the rocket launchers could target them, and that was stage 6. Stage 7 had 6,400% building health, and the first thing is to clear a few mines. Then I can drop all my troops again all Zukas and Bullet, and waiting for the troops to group up. And I can throw one smoke and also the flare, and then just smoking the troops to the top. And again, trying to save all GB I can, so I threw the last 2 smokes instantly. Shock Bullet now. And now letting the Zukas walk into the position. Now I can flare onto the core. And luckily also there's only one shock on this base, so the rocket launcher, mortar and shock launcher need a shock. And also there's no shock launcher that can attack Bullet, so that makes it really easy to time the taunts perfectly. So basically every 8 seconds. So you can see right there, just all the defenses went normal for a split second, and then the taunt was activated again. So you can really maximize the timing of the taunts quite easily on a base like this one. And yeah, that makes it a bit easier, takes less gunboat energy for the taunts. And now one last critter to distract some of the rocket launchers maybe. And just as the taunt ran out, with the last shot managed to take down the core, and that was stage 7. Stage 6 of the next Dr. T event was basically the same. Again, Zukas and Bullet, shock Bullet, and yeah, the base is just very similar, and it requires again only one shock. So I also threw one critter because some of the mortars could have reached the Zukas, so just to save a few of those, one critter. And then just again one repeated shock, and this time again there was actually a shock launcher that could target Bullet, but luckily I think because the shock launcher targeted maybe the Zukas first and then I activated taunt, the shock launcher just kept attacking Bullet, but it didn't fire, so that again made it really easy to maximize the timing of the taunts and not waste any gunboat energy. But yeah, just activated the last taunt and the headquarter just went down. And this is stage 7. As you can see, the building health is very high, same with the building damage, and that's because I'm using this heavy chopper, stunner and melon bombardier attack with Bullet. And all the previous attacks I used sabotage, of course, but this time I'm using Rally. So I'm dropping bullet first. He's just to tank. Now the heavy chopper, stunner and the melon bombardier. And the strategy is basically you drop the heavy choppers. They spawn in a lot of heavies. And those heavies, once they get taken out, they speed up the troops. So at the end you lose all the heavies from the heavy choppers, and then you have super fast troops. And what makes this really strong is because of the stunners. So stunners are usually, they are not bad, but they are kind of slow. They only attack every like 10 seconds or so. So it takes them a long time, and they are not able to shock a lot of the defenses usually in a base like this one. But as you can see, as the troops are getting faster, the stunners also attack faster, so they shock more buildings at the same time. The shock is still for the same duration, I think like 12 seconds. So that allows the stunners to shock the whole base basically. And yeah, at this point I'm even losing most of the heavy choppers. But yeah, Bullet is still alive, there has a little bit of HP left. And I'm also trying to activate some taunts to keep Bullet alive. Yeah, basically now most of the base is gone. At least it's shocked by the stunners. And you also need to be very careful that the stunners keep shocking every building, because as soon as like one of the rocket launcher is not shocked, it basically one-shots all the melon bombardiers or stunners, so the attack can go bad pretty quickly. If you lose one troop, it's over really fast. Yeah, they are reflared to one shock because that rocket launcher was not shocked. And now the troops can basically just clear the remaining defenses. Like one shock maybe for this machine gun and the boom cannon. And the remaining defenses should get shocked just by the stunners. But I actually only have one stunner left at this point, so I lost quite a few already. And even though it doesn't look like there's a lot of defenses left, without stunners it can be quite tricky. So I think yeah, the stunner shocked one of the machine guns there again. And I think yeah, I regrouped there right now. And it's actually really hard to even see the MNG 9000 HP, so I just hoped that it would get taken out at some point. And I think at some point it also got taken out, but it was hard to see, but it fired a few times and I think took out a few of the bombardiers, but with 1 minute 11 seconds remaining I took out the core, and that was stage 7, and this is, yeah, I guess one of the most strongest attacks that you can use. I hope you liked the attacks, mostly Zuka attacks, so not a lot of variation, and thanks for watching, bye.